I'll go ahead and say, you know what, podcast is over with. So, man, don't be political. Just be honest. What's your, not even so much between the two, just in general. What's your favorite?
Real talk. I don't have a favorite team. I love Chicago because I'm from Chicago. But I'm a LeBron James fan. So simply put, whatever team LeBron on, that's
right
who
now.
I'm a fan of, right?
LA. Yeah.
And people understand, I've been following LeBron since he's been in high school, and I got so much respect for like his story, right?
Yeah.
And like to be in the limelight that long and succeed.
Yes.
Every expectation they put on this man, he's not only accomplished it, but succeeded. Imagine being that famous since you was in 8th grade.
Yes.
And not mess it up.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Now see, I'm a Los Angeles Lakers fan from the Shaq and Kobe era. Originally a Chicago fan, but the way they did Michael, Phil, all that kind of stuff, I still got bad blood with them from that standpoint. Phil went to LA, then became an LA fan. But prior to that, I was always a Shaq fan. I'm like, are you a LeBron fan? Just Shaq. Pure dominance, pure destruction. It was fear every time he got the ball down low. It was a wrap. But so we're cool now.
All right, cool.
Can proceed. The interview can proceed. The interview.
Because you never know.
Can proceed. Yeah. But just with all that, you, like you said, you went to some camps, tried out, and you see the athleticism, the skill of one that you need to have, or what you already have and had. And then the competition around. And then for, like you said, okay, now I know a bit about that. And for somebody to been doing that at that high level and the expectation since the 8th grade and where they are right now, you know what I mean? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Salute. You gotta salute. But going back to the reason why those stories were hitting me so tough, and maybe it's because I've been in this game since 2017, and you see the ups and you see the downs. I would argue to say, with all of those hoops that I went through or you went through to get that position, it's like, was it really worth it from the standpoint of the independency that you honestly end up having to develop as a personal trainer? And when you get to a gym or come to a commercial gym, the hoops that they give you or make you go through. And it's like, man, I did all that. You know what I'm saying? For that, you know what I mean? It just puts things in question. I'm not saying that it should be done. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done. It just raises a lot of questions. It just raises a lot of questions. Did you feel that way, or do you feel that way, currently looking back, because hindsight is 2020?
Yeah. So I look at it like this. It depends on what you do with that after you are faced with this adversity or the hoops that they make you jump through, because, it depends on where you want to take it, right? I'm glad that I went through what I went through because it prepared me to run my own thing, right?
Right.
It prepared me to understand what it takes in order to run a successful personal training business, because there's the personal training side of it, but then it's also the business side of it. So the understanding that I developed was, when it's not yours, the split is not going to favor you. You know what I mean? And and when you look back at it, I mean, at best, I think the split was 70% them, 30% me. You know what I mean? So like, you're
that man. Listen, you hitting on everything there, man.
You running this, this. You feel like you're running on a rabbit hamster wheel, right? You're working so hard, and you got this full schedule, and you like, damn, this is how much it was. But back then it was just doing it because of the passion for it, right? It was like, man, I love this, and I gotta find a way to make something out of it, So luckily for me, as I was coming up in the personal training game, I was filming everything. I always understood the value in recording stuff, because I'm a nerd when it comes to documentaries. Like, I love seeing it behind the scenes, right? So I was, as I moved up in the ranks and I became the PT manager, my job was to recruit these trainers, bring them in and put them through that same class that I went through, but in my own way, and teach them how to be successful out on the training floor. Well, I would film the process, right? I would film me doing that. And I would film me taking these trainers from point A to point B and, showing them how to be successful. And I would post it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's genuinely how I built my social media in the beginning. But because of that, that's how I was able to start my own thing eventually, because I had the wherewithal to be like, okay, let's video this. And now the goal was never to video it to get something out of it. I just knew like, okay, maybe this could help some trainers out there who are struggling with figuring out how to be successful in this game, and, Instagram came and the rest was history.
Now, how would you define success in personal training?
I think it depends on the person. If you're talking about at different points in my life, it was different things, right? In the beginning, let's be honest, I had rent to pay, so as much it's always been about helping people, and it's always been about, pushing people past the limits that they think they have. But at the end of the day, it can't be success if I can't take care of myself. You know what I mean? So for me, in the beginning, it was about helping people, and it was about taking care of myself. Both of those things had to be happening in order for me to consider it successful. If I can't pay rent, then I don't consider it success. So that's what it was then. Now I'm in a position where luckily I've been able to, make an honest living out of it, right? Make it a full-time thing. So I don't have the same financial struggles that I had back then. So now it's how many people can I help with reach their fitness goals, but also how many trainers can I teach how to do it as well? Because most trainers who quit on this thing, it's not because they don't have the love and the passion for it. It's that they don't understand how to take that love and take that passion and turn it into a business and make something of it for themselves. Most trainers have other jobs because they don't feel like they can make a full-time living out of this, but it's a very specific way to do it. And it's less about how good of a workout plan you can write and more about how well you understand people, how well you understand the psychology behind why somebody even needs to work with you in the first place. So that's how I define success now. It's changed a little bit just because my circumstances have changed due to, me putting the work in systematically.
I got you. Now, you hit on a lot of good points. And again, you just, keep saying things that my memory keeps flashing. And I just remember this day when I really discovered that personal training was a sales job. Now, remember, I'm going in just 2017, just lost weight. Somehow, some way it associates with becoming a personal trainer. I'm like, all right, well, since this is what the people are telling me that they want for me to do, all right, then here I am. And then, maybe a couple weeks or maybe a couple months as I'm trying to get my feel for the position. And I'm like, you know what? This is a sales job. And I never liked sales jobs, trying to sell somebody something. That it's never really been a strong point for me. And I guess when it comes to personal training, people have always kind of interpreted as, oh, it should be free, right? For some odd reason, right? I know you've been to that 1,000 times. Yeah. So my question to you, when did you realize from when you first started personal training that, okay, this is a sales job or sales has to be a part of it? So let me rephrase that. It's not a sales job, but the art of the sale, you have to now add that to your repertoire. Did you always know that, or when was that aha moment for you?
Absolutely. I was fortunate enough to realize it right away. And here's why. Gotcha. Because like you mentioned, when you walk into a personal training setting in the corporate world, it's not kumbaya. Right. I'm expecting them to treat me like a teammate. The other trainers love you and they want to show you. No, it's not that. You are looked at as competition as soon as you walk in. So like you said, when I looked around, I realized, okay, there are people here more certified than me, probably more, qualified, better shape, whatever the case may be. And they've been here already. They're already established. So my goal when I looked around was I'm like, okay, how do I stand out amongst these 30 trainers who are already here who don't want me to be here because in their mind, I'm taking away from them, right? There's only so many members to go around to sign on as clients.
Exactly.
So when I looked around, what I realized first was who the demographic was that was purchasing personal training. I realized that most of the people who were purchasing training were female between the ages of 28 and 50. So what I thought was, okay, I might not be able to out certification this dude. Yeah. I might not be able to out degree him or might not even write a better workout than him. But if the average client is female between the ages of 28 and 50, what roles do they play outside of the gym, right? So we got mothers, we got wives, we got business women, we got some people who have all of those roles, right? So I started thinking, okay, with those roles, this demographic is essentially taking care of everybody else, right? From sun up to sundown, that's what they do. They are the ones who take care of everybody else. And because of that, they put themselves last, right? So I said, okay, I may or may not be able to write better workouts than these dudes. But what I know is that they're trying to get people to fall in love with push-ups, right? They want them to love it the way we love it. And, as you know, that's not the case. Ms. Jones will never love the push-up the way we love the push-up.
Exactly.
And the other thing is, we can't necessarily control their results the way that we think we can, right? The truth is if you don't adhere to the program, you're not getting the result no matter how good the program is. Yeah. So once I realized, okay, what do we have actual control of and what do we not have control of? I realized like, okay, what I do have control of is providing a certain experience for this person that they can't duplicate on their own, right? Yes. So while Ms. Jones may never fall in love with the push-up, what she will fall in love with is the fact that I might be the only person who carefully listens and pays attention to what it is that she wants. So I would meet my clients at the front desk, right? Instead of, you've seen people, the client comes in for the first workout and they're nervous and they're looking all around for their trainer and they can't find the trainer and they leave, right? Yes. So I would do things like that, meet my client at the front desk. So the first person that they're seeing in this scary world of gym is me, right? And I'm addressing them by name. So my point is I realized that it was a sales job, but it wasn't necessarily sales like, let me get you to buy this package and trick you into it.